Hi again, this is Wes Benson, physical therapist from Tier 1 Physical Therapy. After we talked the last time, I was speaking with Dr. Dean Smith about something else that we might try, and one of the things that we kind of agreed upon mutually was to demonstrate a very, very basic DLSE, which you'll see that on a prescription sometimes. So you may say, what is a DLSE? DLSE stands for Dynamic Lumbar Stabilization Exercise Program. The DLSE or the stabilization program can be something that's very, very basic, or it can be something that becomes very advanced or somewhere just in the middle of the two. So what I'm going to show you today is just a very basic 4 or 5 exercises, dynamic lumbar stabilization exercise program. Try and go slow through them so you really get a good feel as to what the technique is, paying special attention to some of the mechanics involved with the movements. I'm going to include a link where you can go to a program called HEP to go, and there will be an alphanumeric link there. You'll type that in, and then it'll take you to the exercises that we're going to go over today. All right, let's get started, and I have Dee Dee behind us, and she's going to be our exerciser today. Okay, Dee Dee, first exercise I'm going to show you is what we call a pelvic tilt. So lay down on your back for me with your knees bent. Perfect. All right, so first thing I'm going to have you do is I want you to contract your abdominal muscles and rotate your pelvis backwards. Perfect, so your back is nice and flat. Now rotate your pelvis forward. So now your abs are relaxed and you've tightened up your back muscles. And I know you did it right because I can get my hands under there. So now do it one more time. Go backwards, go forwards. Now go somewhere in between the two and tighten up your abs and hold it right there. That is the posterior pelvic tilt, or just basically calling it the pelvic tilt exercise. Working the abdominal muscles and working the lumbar spinal muscles. Now, holding that position right there, holding your abs tight in this neutral spine position, I just simply want you to lift your butt up off of the bed. Come up, try and touch a little bit too high and go back down. Reset your neutral spine, backwards, forwards, neutral, abs tight, and lift to my hand. And back down. You'll do that 10 times. 1, 2, and you would end up doing that 10 times. That makes sense?
Yes.
Pretty easy one? Okay, so that was essentially 2 exercises that you just did. Pelvic tilting in combination with the bridging exercise. Again, part of the dynamic lumbar stabilization exercise program. Now, I want you to stay in that position right there. Reset your pelvic tilt, reset your posterior tilt, backwards, forwards, in the middle. Hold that position right in the middle, and I want you to extend your right leg to my hand. Don't lose that position. Good, and go back down. And now do it with your left leg. And go back down. One of the things you want to be conscientious of is don't let your hips rotate side to side. You want to stay perfectly straight in a line.
Okay.
So right leg, now left leg, and back down. Here's a really good tip. Don't try and do both legs at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, all right. Go ahead and sit back up for me. Okay, so laying on your back, posterior tilt, anterior, posterior, find that neutral position, bridging, and then alternate legs straight.
Okay.
Now I want you to go ahead and, do you feel okay?
Yes.
I want you to go on that bed facing that way, and I want you to go on your hands and your knees.
Okay.
Do you do yoga?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what the cat camel is?
No.
Okay, so some people call it the cat camel, other people call it, I don't know, something else. I call it the cat camel. So what I want you to do is tighten up your abdominal muscles, and by doing so, you're gonna raise your back up just like that. Perfect. And now go back the other way and really arch your back. Perfect. So raise like a cat and down like a camel. Now I want you to do it one more time and then find the neutral spine position, just like you did when you were on your back. Neutral spine, find it, lock it. I want you to pick your head up so you're looking forward. Now in this neutral spine position, don't lose it. I want you to raise your left hand to my hand. Good. And then now do the same thing with your right hand. Perfect. Do left hand again, and then right hand again. Good. Now I'm going to set this dowel on here just for observation. And let's see how stable you really are. You're going to do the same thing again, and I really want you to be conscientious. Don't let this dowel rock side to side, okay?
Okay.
Don't hit me in the jaw with that dowel.
Okay.
Okay, left hand and right hand. Really, really good. That's really good stability. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take that off. That's just a little trick that you can do at home if somebody's helping you. Or could you feel that?
Yes.
Could you feel the dowel on there? So if you're doing that and you have that dowel on there and you feel it rocking back and forth, you know that you're not in a good neutral position and you're not holding the muscles tight enough. That's why you're getting that rocking, which you don't want.
Okay.
Okay, so the first exercise you did there was the cat, the camel, and then we progressed to doing the arm. Now you're going to do the exact same thing, and I want you to find your neutral position again. But listen first, after you find your neutral position, hold it tight, and you're going to extend your right leg back behind you, and then bring it back in, and then you're going to do the same thing with your left leg.
Okay.
So neutral spine for me, please. Cat, camel, neutral, lock in tight, and straight your right leg back out behind you. Okay, and go back down. Do the left leg, and go back down. Okay, so when you did it that time, you really rocked over hard to set. Okay, so find your neutral spine position one more time, and back down, neutral, tight. This time don't raise the leg up. I just want you to slide the leg back and bring it back in. Could you feel the difference?
Yes.
You weren't twisting. Do the same thing with your left leg. Now this is exactly how you would do this exercise at home. If you feel or somebody notices that you're getting a lot of the pelvic rocking from side to side, then you're not quite ready to do a full lift. You want to do just a leg slide.
Okay.
Okay, so basically what was that? 3 basic dynamic lumbar stabilization exercise in the we call it quadruped, but a hands and knees position. Go ahead and sit up straight. Sit up for me. The last exercise that we're going to do is I want you to lay down on your stomach, and you're going to just set your abs so that you're in a neutral spine. It's hard when you're laying on your stomach to get that neutral spine, but try it.
Okay.
And then with your head down, you're going to raise your right arm, your left arm up, come down, and then your right arm.
Okay.
So it's left arm, right arm, kind of in that Superman position.
Okay.
Did you set? Yeah, that looks good. And you don't need to lift a lot. Go ahead and just lift your arm up to my hand. Good, and back down. Now right arm. Good. Left arm again. And right arm. Perfect. Okay, in that same position, I want you to lift your right leg up at the hip. Keep your leg straight. Good. And now do the left leg. Good. Right leg one more time. And left leg. You can see that it's really working your lumbar paraspinal muscles. Everything is engaged here. The gluteus muscles are working. You're having to contract your abdominal muscles to keep yourself stable. That is, in essence, the basis of the dynamic lumbar stabilization exercise program. Now, one of the advanced exercises is this is what we call an alternate arm and leg in the prone or Superman position. Simultaneously, Dee, I want you to lift your left arm and your right leg. Ooh, you feel that? And down. Now this the other way. And again. And one more. And perfect. So at home, a good exercise prescription would be to start these 1 to 2 times a day. Start out with 10 reps. If 10 reps is too hard, then back it down to 5 reps or somewhere in between the two. But start out with 1 set 10 repetitions of each of these exercises. Let me know how you feel. Understand, this is a generic exercise program. This is not to be a substitute for formal therapy or medical intervention. This is just to give you a basic idea, is if a doctor gives you a prescription that says dynamic lumbar stabilization exercises and you're kind of wondering what that is, this is a good introduction to those. Feel free to call me up for a free consultation. My telephone number at the Viscount location is area code 915-593-8555. You can also find us online at www.tier1pt.com, and that's spelled T as in Tom, IER, the number 1, PT as in physical therapy.com.